I come at y'all in peace in this video. But I'm gonna give y'all a different subject. Subject. You know, family? A word upon no other creator has used. So, in this subject, remember, family, we're in the month of October, the month of autumn, the month of fall. You know, one of the main, you want to say, themes of a season, So this is where everything starts to, die off, but reform. Just like you, family, people are at their lowest right now. Well, you have a chance to build yourself up from the ground, man. And there's no better feeling than starting something that hasn't been, built yet, because at least you can say you are starting. It takes change to become a change, to change others. You can't change others, y'all. People don't see you changing for the better or for the worse, depending on how they see you. Because not everybody will agree with you, family. And that's what you must get first. The one thing I can tell y'all though, family, is that my life is pure. I love what I do. I'm enjoying going to work. I'm enjoying, making these videos for y'all, because it's all about pushing out good feedback to the world, y'all. 90% of this world is full of, darkness, because people are stuck in that darkness, looking for like I say, validation, or they crave, people who are seeking components, man, which is, like I say, any type of, if you want to say, feed, when realizing that someone like myself, y'all, doesn't need feed, You want to become a true feminized woman or a true masculine man in this world to function out of your highest. Because I have a lot of women who watch these videos too. So salute to you, because you are taking time out your day to watch me when you don't have to do that. But you want to figure out or try to perceive what I'm telling you, because even though I'm not a woman, y'all, I have masculine and feminine energy within me, because I have held on, and all that energy that has been lost over the years that I have, like I say, wasted, just time. I have rebuilt that over time. So all that energy's, going around my body. Even though you can't perceive it or you can't see it, just know it's going throughout my whole body as we speak right now. It's like a track that's a racetrack, right? And it's like a car spinning around that bitch without ever stopping for eternity, until you choose to lose that energy. Because if the car's stuck on the track, y'all, and it's like, and the track is only like this, which is a circuit, it can't go anywhere else, y'all, because, like I say, once it has enough velocity and it starts taking off at a high speed, y'all, well, it's only gonna go to where it can, because, like I say, the track ain't endless. You're not endless, but you can become that if you start just one day, family. Take it one day at a time. Work your way up, build that energy up, and use it to harness, power. This energy right here is gonna change your life, man, for the better or for the worse, family, because you're not seeking attention. What you're seeking is self-isolation, and because of that isolation is when you find, like I say, true validation, because you start loving and appreciating the credit that you are giving yourself, family. That's where it all starts to unfold, or a book starts to unravel, because you're not worrying about nothing. You're trying to be something, because you can't be anything, y'all, if you're doing it for others. And that silence, y'all, that's when you learn how to, build what true peace is, because you're taking time in that void to figure out who you really are and who you gotta become, family. But like they say, family, you can't move off of how people's perspectives are about you. You must do this because you want to. You must do this because you seek purity, because you're seeking, luminescence, man, or you're trying to seek what light is. Light is something that's only gonna reflect are the ones who are true to the reflection, family. So like I say, family, Halloween's coming up. We're in the month of October. So for the people who are gonna go trick-or-treating, or for the people who are gonna participate in this, holiday, this ritual, or this time of day, well, just protect yourself, man. Have discernment at its highest. Be aware of your surroundings, man. And as much as I want to say, show empathy to others, man. Never trust anybody that ain't giving you that same energy, or that is not on your frequency, because people turn faster than water spilling out of a cup, man. Because not everybody has their best interest for you, especially if they're not winning. And I just said a lot, family, but that's how it is when you kick this real shit. That's how it is, family. When you gotta be someone because you wanna be it. These videos that I make, y'all, everybody's not gonna fuck with them. Or let's just say I might, irritate people for making them, because I'm pushing change out into the world. I'm pushing a positive frequency out into the masses. And people who have demons within them, or post-traumatic trauma, or just shit that they can't let go because they stuck on living in that pain, that fear, that regret. Well, it's gonna forever haunt them, and I'm gonna live endless in their brains, because I'm like a closet who's become cluttered. Because now you might not know me, or you might not even know yourself enough to really feel for what I'm pushing out, because you don't feel for your fucking self, and that's why you push that shit onto others, or you just attract, like I say, likewise what you become, because you haven't taken time to figure out what you need to be for yourself, family. This world is about changing you, and like I say, everything will change around you once you become what it is you are seeking, which is, a positive frequency or a negative frequency. But it's all up to you, family. A lot of people are gonna clown you though, or they're gonna envy you for the fact that you're not with the crowd, But like I say, the strongest people remain untouchable, unbreakable, and like I say, unpenetratable. So no matter what they say, no matter what they do, or no matter how they see you, you shouldn't even be worrying about them. They shouldn't even be in your brain, because they wouldn't be doing that shit if you ain't make a change, or they feel like you want to change them in a way to where their ego's going against their highest self. Because yeah, their highest self might feel for you, because it's still there. It's still there, family. Everybody has their highest self. Even though they can't tap into it, it's still there. But that ego that they have might go against themselves, and that's why they trigger you, or you trigger them, because they don't like how you make them feel, even though you're slowly, like I say, turning the gears on their asses. But if you are true masculine men out here, y'all, well, people are gonna judge you, people are gonna clown on you, or people are just gonna look at you like a fucking a ghost. They're gonna look at you like Madara, because Madara was someone who had failed deeply, so he took what he thought life was to be and try to change it. And as you can see, y'all, 80,000 people didn't agree with him, or they seen him as an outcast, and that's why all those 80,000 shinobi were trying to go after him. And they didn't have the type of energy that Madara was, presenting. They didn't even have his mindset. They haven't been through what the fuck he has been through, which is true pain, which was loneliness, which was isolation, and which is just reliving that shit. Cause remember, he became an old man. He was already old, y'all. He was reanimated because of the shit he was given. But I'm just saying, that life, that whole existence he had, and just all that shit he's been through, y'all. He lived a long ass life and still came back. And all he did was show these motherfuckers that y'all ain't been through shit, or y'all don't know what true pain is. Because everybody around him was, like I say, they thought they knew what life was in a way. So they weren't really, going through it, or they were just trying to attack Madara because they didn't agree with what he was doing. But all he wanted was peace, y'all. Literally, all he wanted was peace. And like I say, these motherfuckers or these demons or just people who don't have that are gonna be triggered by you when you become peaceful, because they envy the ones that don't have that because they don't have it, you know? And that's what I'm trying to present to y'all, family, that's just how life is, you know? If you're a female who's glowing, you're a female who's, you know, staying true to them, well, these other females might look at you like who the fuck she thinks she is? Or, you know, they might clown on you or look at you from afar and laugh because they might just jealous you straight up because, one, they don't have what you have, which is the glow. Two, they're relying on others for, like I say, just constant, you know, back and forth, or just validation that is pointless because you're validating the ego, but your soul is craving for something deep, man, beyond the surface. You just don't know what it is because you haven't took time to sit with yourself and realize that you have a higher self, man. But I give y'all this video because a lot of people go through this on a daily, and I haven't dropped in a minute. Not because I chose not to, but because it takes energy to make these videos. You know, I gotta let my energy rise. You know, I gotta build up my frequency to push it out. Because if I was making videos on a low frequency, y'all, well, then I'm pushing out toxicity or conflict to the world. And that's not what this channel I made it about, man. I made this channel to increase your brain capacity, to raise your frequency to where you love and you start living out of peace, because then you will attract, like I say, like-minded souls. And that's how you attract your soulmate, or just, you know, simple money, simple, you know, financial stability, or anything you are seeking. But only y'all will know what I mean, family, if you are truly on this journey, because, you know, every person that has taken the time to walk through the shoes or let alone take this journey on, well, like they say, man, you're a chosen being, or you're just the black sheep or the lonely leopard, because you become unrelated to, you become misunderstood or misunfortunate just for the fact your energy is what's, you know, pulling their asses away, man. Everything is perceived with energy because energy is all, you know. That's what you must notice. If people crave the physical, well, that's because they're on a lower dimension. They're on 3D. Or they're simply just not aware of, like I say, their spiritual bodies, man. And all that means is that you must slowly rise. You don't have to meditate to rise, but you have to protect your energy and never let it go and call it back to you, and just know that it's gonna be alright, family. That's the first step. You know, my bad, y'all, the scenery's not as it should be. You know, the sun's glaring into my, you know, my mirror, because, like I say, once you take on this energy, y'all, the suns and your chromosuns, they start, you know, they start talking metaphysically to that majestic being in the sky, what you perceive as the sun, which is solar energy, which comes from your body when you emit a high charge, or you start living out of peace, love. But to fully grasp this, you must love you. You must love you, because ain't nobody gonna love you like you anyway. And you must know that to truly love someone else is to first love yourself on a level to where you know that you love you without anybody's attention. That's the goal. But it can be done though, family. Nothing's impossible as long as you believe in it. All it takes is for you. You can't rely on others, but you can rely on the, like I say, the feedback we're giving you, which was everybody who's making videos, family, because they have been through situations in their life to keep them going. You know, if I didn't have no pain, or I didn't have nothing to endure, y'all, I wouldn't have took on this journey, because I'll be living in, like I say, pleasure, lust, or just straight, you know, regret or gluttony. And that's not what you want to live in, family, because it don't get you nowhere. That shit don't get you nowhere at all. It kills you faster. You know, it breaks down the cells in your body over time, and it makes you weak. You know, it makes people not respect you because you're not respecting your body. And that's how powerful this shit is, man. You know? So just realize that, family. To truly know why people ain't respecting you, if you're getting, you know, laughed at, not necessarily saying that you're not a chosen one, but I'm just saying that you gotta value self, man. You gotta look at how people are treating you. If you want people to treat you good, pay attention to how you're treating yourself, man. And you might get the answer, you know? But yeah, family, you know, this is the video. It's just knowing that in this world, y'all, not everybody's gonna see life like you. And they, as they shouldn't, because life is all about balance, man. There's no duality if everybody's all awoke, because there's nothing we could really do if we can't help others rise, you know? You can't help nobody rise with a punch in the face, man. Because you're not even trying to hit them. You're just trying to get them to realize what the fuck they're living. But to get them to comprehend that, y'all, at first it starts with them getting a concept of what energy is and knowing that they have it. So not let it fucking go, you know? But, you know, for the people who are going trick-or-treating, or for the people who are going to these haunted houses, or just, you know, you're trying to have fun, whether it's with your spouse, your girl, your family members, man, or just your day ones, be safe, man. Tell yourself that I will be safe. Nothing can harm me. Nothing can penetrate my being of light. And practice what you preach, man, because those, you know, affirmations affirm even more potently. You want to work out on the body. You want to make sure that I am sophisticated, I am subtle, I am silent, and I am a calmful avenger. You know, you want to become an avenger because, like I say, family, if people are looking up to you, well, they look up to you because they see something in you that inspires them. You become an independent person, and that's what you want others to be, so they don't have to rely on nobody for nothing. You don't want nobody to have no handouts, because it ain't even gonna fit right with them. They're not even gonna appreciate life wholeheartedly if they get or ask for handouts, you know? So just realize that, you know, Halloween is the day to where, you know, you go scare people or you dress up as someone that you idolize. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but just be aware of your energy and take care of that, man, because it only takes one fatal mistake to lose it all. If you ain't thinking consciously with your mind and your gut. So, you know, for the people, like I say, who are operating out of their authentic self, well, I'm gonna give y'all story times because I've been through the shit. And, you know, I haven't gave y'all story times in a while, but I'm gonna give them to y'all because, you know, maybe if I give y'all a glimpse of my life, y'all, you might feel likewise, or it might inspire you to even go harder, you know? But let's just say, last year, Halloween, you know, I chose to go, you know, not trick-or-treating, y'all, but I still give out candy. Or, like, you know, if I see people out on the streets and in costumes, y'all, you know, like, I'll salute to them. Or if they fuck with me, like I say, I'll give them some candy from the bucket. Nothing's wrong with that, but I'm just saying, y'all, you know, people will try to scare me or intimidate me. Or they'll try to pop up on me, knowing that, like, oh shit, we finna scare his ass because it's dark. Or they think they could put fear in my being because they're in groups, but not knowing that I know who I am. So it actually terrifies them, trying to scare me, knowing that I don't make, like I say, if you want to say, a reaction. People, all they do is they live for reactions. That's why people love feedback, or they crave validation because they need a reaction from someone to make their ego feel subtle, whole, or to feel like they are truly living. But let's just say if you scared me or you attempted to, and I didn't react, or I didn't, you know, give you what you was looking for, would probably intimidate you, or you know, they ran because they feel like, what the fuck? Why isn't he not afraid? Because like I said, you're not like everybody else once you take on this journey. You know, you start questioning everybody's brain because they don't really know what life truly is, yo. If they ain't truly living out of their highest self. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Knowing that once you know yourself, yo, you can't be tricked out of your position, you know? That's one story time, you know? I was giving out candy, you know? A bunch of people try to come out and attempt to scare me, yo. No fear was given because I didn't have fear, you know? Once you know who you are, y'all, it's not that you move out of fear, but you move out of truth. So you live knowing that shit. It is what it is. But I'm gonna stay who I am because if I'm pushing out these videos and who I say I am, y'all, it only makes sense for me to act and live out how I'm operating when I'm not on the camera, y'all. It's just I'm not talking because I'm by myself. So I live with energy within me. You know, I work out. And I like to do things that increase my peace. That's what you should be doing as well, family. But not many people know about this. And that's why I'm giving y'all this video. I don't want shit to happen to y'all. If you have kids and you're watching me, I don't want them to get abducted. Because like I said, there are people out here who are going to go crazy or take this shit to the heart when that day arrives. I'm not saying to carry guns. You can carry them, but you don't need them. Like I said, your aura is enough to protect you from anybody who's trying to fuck with you. As long as you know who you are, as long as you live with purpose, and as long as you protect that energy that you was given, man, because that is your spiritual protection. Yeah, money is your physical protection and your currency to get you things. But your spirit and your essence is gonna open doors for you to create opportunities, give you that protection from evilness. You know, you become that armor that God is giving you because He sees you are trying. But let's look at another story. You know, let's just say I don't go to stores often because, you know, I don't like going out and shopping because I just don't like the attraction I get, family. I don't like how people view me. Not saying that I care, it's just once you get too many eyes on you, yo, you just don't really like that in a way because you don't like how, why the fuck are they looking at me? Like, why are they all looking at me? Like how Pac said it, when they ain't looking at nobody else the same way. It makes you feel like, damn, everybody's left out. So that's where the jealousy or the envy arises because you become a target. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. The ones who are on this journey or know what I'm saying will comprehend this because they go through it as well. And that's why, like I say, chosen ones don't like being around people, or they just don't like going around because we look at this world like literally zombie land. When you're living and there's nothing but zombies around you, not knowing who a zombie is, because a zombie is someone who's living but without a brain, because they're not taking control of their life. You know, they might be living in pleasure, they might be living in just filth, man. That's why you see some people on the highways driving trucks, y'all, and they're fucking filled to the bone, and they haven't took time to clean it or even clean the inside of their fucking truck, because within, y'all, they're all bagged up. They're filled with fucking, you know, toxicity, y'all. But just know that you're here, and if you're watching this video, you're a game changer. You're the chosen one. You're the beacon of light that people need to aid on their limitless adventure. Only if you take action on yours and watch everybody around you do the same. Because how you think that energy impacts other beings or attracts likewise souls, you know, feel me? But that's all I really wanted to give y'all in this video, y'all. I didn't want to put too much gems out because I took the time with the energy, but you know, protect your female, protect your family if you're gonna indulge in things leading up to this month, you know. Just know that, affirm that you will be safe. Nothing can harm you, and nothing can lead you to down spiral, man. As long as you keep your head above your shoulders and you live presently, not knowing that shit can't fuck with you, because I chose to be something. I chose to stand and not give up. I chose to rise because I'm trying to help the ones that never helped me. Not saying because they were selfish, but they probably didn't even know. They lacked information. They lacked knowledge of self. And that's why God poured it upon you, because you were the one that was chosen to give it out to others. People might envy the fact that you're an attention, you become the center of attention, but it's not that you're craving attention. You're here to give people what they should need, which is true education. True education is, like I say, knowing who you truly are. So you can't be someone that is living for others or trying to become something for the next person, man. Because you're gonna be stuck in a fantasy that only exists because you see somebody physically, man. And you're under a genjutsu. I'm here to help you break that hole. But, to each is their own, family. Just know that there was many people who will take this video and run with it, because the gems that I pulled out are endless, man. You are a diamond in the rubble. And even if they tossed you aside, well, that's their loss, They couldn't see what was truly in front of them when they had it. And that's why it fell out their fucking hands. Or it's like a bottle of water, but they couldn't hold on to the water. So like I say, the water had fell from the glass, and the glass, which was you, not shattered, but it was set free. And that's how you must see it, family, So never feel down. You can have times to where you feel, despair, which is, simple sadness. But as long as you keep pushing, that's what's going to give you motivation and make you realize, like, man, I never needed nobody. All I needed was, myself. All I needed was energy. All I needed was to keep fucking going. Because as long as I'm living, y'all, God's telling me to keep going. He doesn't want me to stop. Because I have a breath today. Tomorrow I might not be breathing. But while I am, I'm for sure going to fulfill this purpose. And I'm for sure going to get this shit done, because there's people out here counting on it, because they don't have people they talk to, or they're just true loners like myself, yo. Because they don't feel comfortable being around others. People ask me, why don't you like being around other people? Because if you're not on the frequency that I'm on, if you're not onto the topics that I like talking about, or if you're not just someone that's trying to elevate and better themselves, y'all, we can't cooperate, because I'm seeking change daily, and you're just probably stuck living in things that make you feel comfortable, and comfortability is gonna kill you faster than any drug in this world, y'all, because you're forcing yourself to feel a feeling that is not even real. Like I say, your fucking brain is so fucking warped, or just so, disbobbled, because you're not truly trying to change. Change takes adversity, and you must break, like I say, anything that was put upon you, because you're in control, not the voice in your head that's telling you to act on shit. But when you truly know what I'm saying, y'all, you will take action on your life. So for you women out here who watch me, which are queens, and for the kings, keep going. Nothing can stop you. No one can define you, because they don't know how hard it took you to even get where you are today. They weren't on a journey like you. They ain't choosing, self. Everybody's choosing someone else. And that's why relationships ain't 100. Or that's why, they're stuck relying on other people. They're stuck in the men are too emotional. Women don't like that shit. And man, women are laughing at men because they're too masculine. This world is fucking reversed. It's reverse psychology, y'all. And I'm here to break that, like I say, that time warp you were under, so maybe you can live for yourself truly, and you can take life by the hand and just hit that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Just hit it. Break that ice. But this was the video, family. Knowing that change is meant to occur. That's what the video is. Change is meant to occur, no matter if you don't want to change or not. Say you don't want to change your life. You change clothes every fucking day. So that's how you should look at it, family. Because no matter if you are changing yourself or not, you are changing something daily. Whether that is your tires, whether that is you're changing what you are eating, y'all. There's something that the change is something you are doing because it's a part of your lifestyle. It's a routine that you are, doing. So why not change your habits? Choose discipline instead of quick dopamine. That's why I stopped smoking, family, because it was giving me that dopamine, that rush. When I've been smoking for so long, to the point where, being sober is that new high, because no one could take my ambitions away from me. No one could step over this masculine energy. No one could disrespect me and make them feel like, yeah, I got him. You don't got shit. The only thing you have is a fucked up mind, and that's why you're relying on others, or you just never feel satisfied because you ain't satisfied truly to you, man. You see things in you that you don't like, and you're trying to project that on other people, and that's why those other people can't be around your ass, because you're not someone who you truly say you are. Like I said, all that does is take self-isolation. Through preservation, you create dissipation. But you will become something as long as you see it in you. Fuck what they're on. Fuck them critics. They're mad because they're not you. Inspire them with your energy, or push them away because they're not meant to be someone of true light, man. But I'll see you on the next video. And the next video, family. Salute.